Hello everyone and welcome to the LDR revision batch. So here we are going to be revising the top 26 question of Companies Act, all our case study based question covering all the concepts that is there in your syllabus, right? So in the next 1 hour, let's cover the most important question of Companies Act. If you want to revise the concepts, you can watch day 1 to day 5 revision video from our 30 days challenge. I have revised the entire concepts that are there in your Companies Act 2013 of CA Foundation. Once you're done with that, do this 26 question and your entire preparation for the Companies Act is sealed, right? So without any further delay, let's quickly start our questions discussion. Hello everyone and welcome to the LDR revision batch. So here we are going to be revising the top 26 question of Companies Act, all our case study based question covering all the concepts that is there in your syllabus, right? So in the next 1 hour, let's cover the most important question of Companies Act. If you want to revise the concepts, you can watch day 1 to day 5 revision video from our 30 days challenge. I have revised the entire concepts that are there in your Companies Act 2013 of CA Foundation. Once you're done with that, do this 26 question and your entire preparation for the Companies Act is sealed, right? So without any further delay, let's quickly start our questions discussion. So let's start with our first questions discussion. I want you guys to actively answer in the chat box, right? First question enadhun paru. Topics na ipo kuduthirken mela, so you won't find it very difficult. So but in the exam obviously you will not be given topics. You have to figure out in the topic la the question varudhu. Modal question paru. XYZ Limited was incorporated. XYZ Limited was incorporated to hold a patent for a new product, to hold the intellectual property, to hold a property, intellectual property, or for future business. If I am registering or forming a company, such a company is known as a dormant company. Here XYZ Limited எதுக்கு incorporate பண்றாங்க? To hold a patent. Patent na ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, copyrights, patent, right? For a new product. The company is expecting to start its commercial production within the next 2 years. In the varsham production பண்ண போதில்லை, within the next 2 years only we are going to do it. In the meantime, for the timely installation, the company has placed purchase order for plant and machinery with a down payment of 1 crore. With a down payment of 1 crore. Think and tell me, if you are a dormant company, can you do significant transactions? If you're a dormant company, can you do significant transactions? No. The answer is very good. You cannot do significant transactions in case you are a dormant company. But there are 4 transactions which are not significant. But there are 4 transactions which are not significant. What are those transactions? Ma'am, 4 transactions which are not significant, which the dormant company can do is in case some fees has to be paid to the registrar. In case something has to be done as per Act. If payment has to be made for maintenance of the office. For allotment of shares if any expenses is incurred. இந்த 4 செலவு பண்ணலாம். இதை தவிர வேற எந்த டிரான்சாக்ஷனுமே ஒரு டார்மெண்ட் கம்பெனி பண்ணக்கூடாது. அப்படி அது பண்ணிச்சு அப்படின்னா அது டார்மெண்ட் கிடையாது. இந்த கேஸ்ல நீனே சொல்லு, இவன் ஒரு பிளான்ட் அண்ட் மெஷினரிய பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்றான். பிளான்ட் அண்ட் மெஷினரிய பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்றான். Purchase of a P&M, is that a significant accounting transaction? Is that a significant accounting transaction? Yes, obviously it is a significant accounting transaction. You cannot do sale and purchase. It is a significant accounting transaction. So tell me, can they get the status of dormant company? Can they get the status of a dormant company? No, they will not get the status of a dormant company. That is your first question. Whenever this question is asked, case study based question, it's a 3-mark question. You will start by defining what is a dormant company. Section 455 of the Companies Act says dormant company is a company which is formed and registered under this act for a future project of a holding an asset or intellectual property, and it has no significant accounting transactions. But unfortunately, XYZ Limited is having a significant accounting transaction. அதனால அது என்ன கிடையாது, dormant company ஓட status அதுக்கு கிடைக்காது. Is this absolutely clear? Absolutely clear. Question number 1 done and dusted. Can we move on to question number 2? Question number 2 is from the topic inactive company. Ma'am, first recall what is inactive company. Inactive company na நீ உன்னோட financial statements returns consecutive ரெண்டு வருஷத்துக்கு ஃபைல் பண்ணல அப்படினா you will get the status of a inactive company. You will get the status of a inactive company. இங்க பாரு PTK Private Limited is a company registered under the Act. It is a company registered under the Act on 5th of January 2021. 5th of January 2021 they were registered. The company has not started its business till now. இன்னும் எந்த பிசினஸும் பண்ணல, சும்மா இன்கார்பரேட் ஏன் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க? இன்னும் எந்த பிசினஸுமே பண்ணல. 7th of April 2023 அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு நோட்டீஸ் போகுது from the ROC saying that you have not filed your form INC 20A. You need not know what is INC 20A at the foundation level. அது ஒரு ரிட்டர்ன், அது ஒரு ஃபார்ம்னு வெச்சுக்கோ. அந்த ஃபார்ம் அவங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணல, 2 வருஷமா சப்மிட் பண்ணல. 2021ல ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க, 2023 வரைக்கும் சப்மிட் பண்ணல. Tell me what is the status and what kind of company it is. Ma'am, if you do not file it actively for a period of 2 years, you will get the status of a inactive company. You will get the status of a inactive company. So in this case PTK Private Limited will be known as a inactive company. Is that absolutely clear, people? Is that absolutely clear? Can I move on to the next one? I think by mistake small company got typed 2 times here. Okay, right? Can I move on to the next one? Next is small company. Small company, very, very important, especially the students who are writing September 26 attempt. First time this amendment is going to be tested in your attempt. So you must remember the limits of a small company. Can you quickly let me know in the chat box that what are the limits for a small company? When you will get the status of a small company? Small company இருக்கிறதுக்கு first நீ என்னவா இருக்கணும்? Private or public? Small company status வரதுக்கு first நீ என்னவா இருக்கணும்? You should be a private company. Very good. You should be a private company whose paid up share capital and turnover. Paid up share capital எவ்வளோ? Paid up share capital should not exceed 10 crores. Turnover should not exceed 100 crores. Very good, very good, very good. Now, as per the amended provision, answer the following question. What are they asking? The paid up capital and turnover of Aradhya Cosmetics Private Limited, ACPL, for the financial year 24-25 is a 10 crore rupees and 105 crores respectively. So their paid up share capital is 10 crores, turnover is 105 crores. நீனே சொல்ல, ரெண்டுமே simultaneously satisfy ஆகணுமா இல்ல ஏதாவது ஒன்னு மட்டும் ஆனா போதுமா? Both. You should be able to satisfy the paid up share capital condition also and turnover condition also. ரெண்டுமே ஒரே டைம்ல satisfy பண்ணோம். இந்த கம்பெனிக்கு பாரு, paid up share capitalல பிரச்சனை இல்ல, paid up share capitalல பிரச்சனை இல்ல. ஏன்னா paid up share capital is 10 crores, but turnover is how much? 105 crores. Turnover is how much? 105 crores. So tell me, can ACPL avail the status of a small company? Can it avail the status of a small company? The answer is absolutely no, they cannot avail the status of a small company. Therefore, the contention of the company secretary என்ன சொல்றாங்க? Company secretary is saying that ACPL is not a small company. Is the company secretary right? Absolutely she is right, because in a turnover condition meet agadnala they cannot avail the special status of a small company. So here the contention means the point, the side of the company secretary is absolutely correct. What she is telling is correct. ACPL cannot avail the relaxation of a small company. Is question 3 also absolutely clear, guys? 3 questions down, 23 questions to go. Are you clear with question number 3? Can I go to question number 4? Very beautiful question number 4. Exam la idu paakama podina slight it can be a little weird when you see this question for the first time in the exam. Make sure that we do it now itself. No limit private company is incorporated as an unlimited company. Based on liability, there are 3 types of company. Company limited by shares, company limited by liability, and unlimited company. In the no limit private limited is what kind of company? Unlimited company having share capital of rupees 10 lakhs. One of the creditors, Mr. Samuel, filed a suit. Suit means another case. He filed a case against the shareholder, Mr. Innocent. Samuel filed a case against Innocent. Samuel யாரு? He is a creditor. கம்பெனிக்கு கடன் கொடுத்திருக்கிற ஆள் பேர் என்னது? Samuel. Innocent யாரு? கம்பெனியோட ஒரு shareholder. Now Samuel is filing a case against Innocent saying that நான் கம்பெனிக்கு கொடுத்த கடனை நீ எனக்கு திரும்பி கொடு. கம்பெனிக்கு கொடுத்த கடனை நீ எனக்கு திரும்பி கொடுன்னு சாமுவல் கடன் கொடுத்த ஆளு யார் மேல கேஸ் போட்டிருக்கான்? மிஸ்டர் இன்னோசென்ட், who is one of the shareholder. Mr. Innocent has given his plea in the court that he is not liable as he is just a shareholder. Explain whether Mr. Samuel will be successful in recovering the dues. Will he be successful in recovering the dues? Will he be successful? Now, unlimited company அப்படினா என்னது? The liability of the shareholders unlimited. Unlimited company na என்னது? The liability of the shareholders is unlimited. Ninja, I don't know who this is, but whoever is answering, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. You have got the point. Ma'am, unlimited company la, I know, I understand, I accept that the shareholders liability is unlimited, but the shareholders liability will come only during winding up. Only during winding up. Right? Mr. Innocent is liable to the share capital of the company only during winding up. Right? In case the company is limited by shares, when can I call the money? Company is limited by shares. Company is limited by shares. Ma'am, in case company is limited by shares, you can call the money from the shareholder during the lifetime or during winding up. During the lifetime or during winding up. But if it is a company limited by guarantee or an unlimited company, money can be called from the shareholders only at the time of winding up. So here you can ask the shareholder, Mr. Innocent, to pay, but only when the company goes for a winding up. Right? Only when the official liquidator, when you're closing the company, when you're going for a winding up, when that time liability arises, appoda shareholder contribute panva, because it is an unlimited company, the liability arises only during winding up. Is that absolutely clear? Is that absolutely clear? Once now that you have seen it, it will be easy, but in the exam, if you see first time, it will be a little difficult. So nama ipo panna 4 question le, I will rate this question as a top. Right? Out of the 4 questions that we did so far, others were a little easier. This is a very good question. One time if you have seen, then you will know the answer, but otherwise it's a very good question. Is it absolutely clear, people? Can we move on to the next? Can we move on to the next? Associate company. Ma'am, what do you mean by associate company? Associate company is when you have a significant influence. When you have what kind of influence? Significant influence. And significant influence na enadhu guys? More than 20%. Very good. More than 20%, up to. More than 20%, up to 50%. More than 20 up to 50. இப்போ இங்க பார்க்கலாமா? Moneykare Limited has allotted equity shares with voting rights to Nanicare Limited. Nanicare. Okay? Moneykare Limited has allotted equity shares with voting rights to Nanicare Limited worth rupees 10 crores and issued non-convertible debentures of 30 crores during the financial year. 30 crores during the financial year. After that, the total paid up share capital of the company is 100 crores and total non-convertible debenture is 150 crores. இங்க எதுக்குப்பா non-convertible debenture கொடுத்திருக்காங்க? Non-convertible debenture 30 கோடி எதுக்கு கொடுத்திருக்காங்க? Very good, Latika. It has no relevance. This is just to confuse you. This is just to confuse you. But we will not get confused. We are not bothered because associate, holding, subsidiary is based on how much voting power you have, and voting power is based on equity shares, not based on debenture. Debenture holders won't vote in the meeting. Right? Ippo nee paru. I have how much? I have 10 crores. I have 10 crores. What is the total equity share capital? 100 crores. 10 crores divided by 100 crores into 100. How much percent are you getting? How much percent are you getting? Ma'am, 10%. How much do you need for significant influence? It starts from 20%, ma'am. It starts from 20%. So you tell me here, is it an associate company? Is it an associate company? Absolutely no. You have to show the workings also and tell that it does not have a significant influence. Therefore, they both are not in the relationship of associate companies. Is that absolutely clear? Is that absolutely clear? Here, the non-convertible debentures point has no relevance for ascertaining significant influence. That is only given to confuse you. Is that clear? Is that clear? Somesh, wait, I'll come to you. There's a similar question like that. I'll come to you. Can we move on to the next one? Question number 6. Are you finding it easy, guys? If you know concepts, the questions are easy. Okay? The questions are easy. Make sure after this session also, just quickly read the answers, how they are writing. Just read it once and you are good to go. Right? Let's move on to question number 6. The paid up equity share capital of ACD is 80 crores. Paid up equity share capital is 80 crores. And preference share capital, Somesh, coming to your point, preference share capital is 20 crores. Preference share capital is 20 crores. B Limited holds equity shares in ACD worth rupees 15 crores and preference shares worth rupees 10 crores. Can B Limited be considered as a associate company? I'll give you a thumb rule right now. Remember, usually, in case you are having this associate relationship, we are telling you have to have significant influence. Significant influence means more than 20% up to 50%. More than 20 up to 50 what? Voting power. More than 20% up to 50% of what you should have? Voting power. Remember, generally, preference shareholders don't have voting power. Generally, preference shareholders don't have voting power. In some exceptional cases, they will have. That is your intermediate syllabus. You don't be worried about it. For you, foundation level, remember, generally, preference shareholders don't have voting power. So, when you are seeing this associate, subsidiary, holding relationship, preference shares kuduthirukku appadina, until they tell preference shares is having voting power, you will assume they don't have voting. And if they don't have voting, will you consider them for your calculation? Will you consider them for your calculation? No. Are you clear with the logic? In exam, they will confuse you. They'll give you equity numbers also, preference also. This 20% significant influence that you're calculating for associate, more than 50% that you're calculating for subsidiary holding. Idella more than 20% of voting power, more than 50% of voting power. And who has voting power? Only equity shareholders. Is that absolutely clear? Who has voting power? Only equity shareholders. So remember, you will not consider, these guys. You will not consider these preference. Now you answer me. 80 crores is total, guys. 80 crores is total. Okay, out of that, how much am I having? B Limited holds 15 crores. So 15 divided by 80 into 100. 15 divided by 80 into 100. How much are you getting? 15 divided by 80 into 100. I am getting 18.75%. Absolutely correct. Are you getting 18.75%? Yes, but we need how much for significant influence? At least 20%. At least 20%. Is it clear, people? Is it clear? Question number 6, absolutely clear. So here there is no associate company relationship because you are not having a significant influence. Because there is no significant influence. Is that absolutely clear, people? Absolutely clear. Yeah, iPad, you can take calculator for law. Take for every exam. You can take calculator. Today also, if you're going to the exam center to write, take calculator. People sitting at home, not a problem you will have, but you should take calculator, okay? Next is government company. Government company, what is the definition, guys? You should be having more than 51% of the voting power or paid up share capital. Voting power or paid up share capital. More than 51% of the paid up share capital should be held by state government, central government, partly state or partly central. Here, let's see. Government of India is having how much? 20%. Life Insurance Corporation is having how much? 8%. Tamil Nadu government is 10%. Government of Rajasthan is 10%. ABC Limited, which is a government-owned company, has 15%. The same question I have solved in the class also. That time I clearly told you, you will only consider what? Shares which are held by state government, central government, partly state, partly central. Ma'am, LIC, we don't care. Ma'am, a government company is holding shares. We don't care. We will only see how much holding is there with central government, state government, partly central, partly state. Together, how much it is having? Government of India, that is the central government, has 20%, Tamil Nadu has 10%, and government of Rajasthan has 10%. So totally you have 40%. But you need what? More than 51%. So are they satisfying the condition? No, no. So is this a government entity? No. Very good, guys. Very good. Right? So this is your question number 7. Very good, very good. Can we move on to the next question? Next question, very, very, very important is the next question. First question is also, 7 is also related to government company, 8 is also related to government company, but 8 is very, very important because 8 is based on the proviso. ஒரு proviso base பண்ணி 8th question இருக்கு. 8th question is based on the proviso that subsidiary of a government company is a, if I am a subsidiary of a government company, I am a subsidiary of a government company is a deemed government company. Very good, Kasturi. Subsidiary of a government company is a deemed government company. Based on this is this question. Let's have a look. The paid up share capital of Abhinav Natural Gas Limited is 140 crores. Total paid up share capital level 140 crores. The holding of central government and Maharashtra state government is 40.10 and 30.20 respectively. அப்போ 40.10 plus 30.20 எவ்வளவு வருது? 40.10 plus 30.20 is very good. It is 70.30. Latika, how is it 50? 70.30. 70.30. Total is how much? Total is how much? 140 crores. So 70.30 divided by 140. Divided by 140 into 100. How much am I getting? 50.21%. 50.21%. To be a government company, the government, partly state, partly central, or state government, central government, should be having more than 51%. Not more than 50, it should be having more than 51%. So here, unfortunately, we are not able to satisfy the conditions. So is it a government company? The answer is no. No. Here, Abhinav Natural Gas Limited cannot be tagged as a government company because it is not satisfying the 51% paid up share capital condition. Is it absolutely correct? Is it absolutely clear? Can we move on to the next one? Narendra Motors Limited is a government company. Shah Auto Private Limited is a private company. Okay. So let me draw it. Narendra Motor Limited is a government company. Shah Automobile Private Limited is it's a company. It's not given anything. Okay. Having share capital of 10 crores, which is of 10 lakh shares of 100 each. Narendra Motor Limited is holding 5,05,000 shares in Shah Private Limited. Narendra Motor Limited is holding 5,05,000 shares of Shah. Okay. Totalaவே ஷால எவ்வளோ இருக்கு? 10 லட்சம் ஷேர்ஸ் இருக்கு. இதுல இவனே எவ்வளோ ஹோல்ட் பண்றான்? 5,05,000. அப்போ 5,05,000 divided by 10 lakhs if you do, how much are you getting? 50.50%, which means are they both in a holding subsidiary relationship? Are they in a holding and subsidiary relationship? Yes, ma'am, because more than 50% of voting rights I'm having. More than 50% of voting rights, right? So is it a holding subsidiary? Yes. So here Narendra Motors Private Limited is a government company which is also the holding company of Shah Automobiles, which is the subsidiary. So you tell me, my holding company Narendra Motor is a government company. So will Shah Automobiles Private Limited also be a deemed government company? Deemed government company? Yes. Yes. As per the proviso, it does not satisfy that condition that more than 51% paid up share capital is held by state government, central government, partly state, partly central. And the condition inga kadayadu. Here it is the proviso of the section which says that if you are a subsidiary of a government company, if you are a subsidiary of a government company, then you are a deemed government company. Then you are a deemed government company. Is that clear? Question number 9. Is that clear? Very good. Very good. Question number 9 clear? Next. Private company. We know lollipop definition, private company. Okay, let's move on to that. Almost halfway through, guys. We are in the 10th question. Okay, very good speed. Okay, good speed. We are in the 10th question. Within 20 minutes, we have completed 10 questions. Okay, so I think in the next 20 minutes, we'll close all the LDR questions. Jagannath Oils Limited is a public company having 220 members. Having how many members? 220 members, of which 25 members were employees in the company during the period 1st April to 28 June 2016. I remember one person in my class asking this doubt. Is he there? This question you bought it to me, right? It was there in MTP, you bought it to me, right? Please see if you are understanding it now. Right? Jagannath Oils Limited is a public company. அதில் எத்தனை பேர் இருக்காங்க? 220 members இருக்காங்க. அதில் 25 பேர் are employees of that particular company between 1st April 2006 to 28 June 2016. They were allocated shares in Jagannath Oils Limited first time on 1st July 2007, which were sold by them on 1st August 2016. After some time, on 1st December 2016, each of the 25 acquired shares in Jagannath Limited, which they are holding till the date. Now the company wants to convert itself into a private company. State with reasons whether Jagannath Oils Limited is required to reduce the number of members. You tell me, in a private company, what is the maximum number of members I can have? What is the maximum number of members I can have? Ma'am, the maximum number of members I can have is 200, and this limit of 200 does not include employees and ex-employees, and joint shareholders are counted as 1. Now read this first part of the answer. Are we required? Nama kitta ipo 225 irukanga, 220 irukanga. Are we required to reduce the limit? Let's read it. The following provision of 268 is nothing but the section which defines private company. 268 says that the 25 members were employees of the company, but not during their present membership. They were employees of the company earlier. They were employees from which date? Guys, see here carefully. They were employees of the company from 1st April 2006 to 28 June 2016. To 28 June 2016. Currently, we are sitting in December 2016. You tell me, December 2016, are they the employees? No. Are they the employees? No. Presently, they are not the employees. Okay, which started there. Presently, they are not the employees. Right? So here if you see, the members were employees of the company, but not during their present membership. அவங்க கம்பெனியை விட்டுட்டு போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் அவங்க என்ன பண்ணிருக்காங்க? கொஞ்சம் shares வாங்கிருக்காங்க. After the date on which these 25 members has ceased to be the employees of the company, they purchased the shares. That means they will be considered in the counting of number of members. And does the number exceed 200? Does the number exceed 200? Yes. Does the number exceed 200? Therefore, the company is required to reduce. That 20 people you have to reduce. Some 20 people you have to reduce to meet the limit. Who didn't understand? Latika, I'll explain it again. But they are ex-employees. Hey, listen people. Ex-employees. Read the question carefully. They were ex-employees. Very good. But after leaving the company, did they sell that shares? Ex-employees, correct Mustafa, but did they sell that shares? Now, you have 10 shares when you are the employee. You had the 10 shares. You left the company. You sold the 10 shares in 1st of August. Then you purchased new shares in 1st December. Are you able to understand? The shares that I gave you as an employee, that you had, you left the employment, you sold that shares. Now that you are purchasing on 1st December is not coming under that purview. Are you able to understand? Yes, Kasturi. There will be new subscribers. ஏன்னா நான் எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் அப்போ கொடுத்த ஷேர்ஸை நீ எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட்ல இருக்கும் போது வச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா நான் உன்னை 200ல கவுண்ட் பண்ண மாட்டேன். எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட்டை விட்டுட்டு போயிட்டேன், எக்ஸ் எம்ப்ளாய் ஆயிட்டேன், ஆனாலும் நான் கொடுத்த ஷேரை வச்சிருக்கேன்னா நான் உன்னை கவுண்ட் பண்ண மாட்டேன். ஆனா நீ எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட்டை விட்டு போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் நான் கொடுத்த ஷேரை வித்துட்டேன், அதுக்கப்புறம் புதுசா வாங்கியிருக்கேன். Now you are no more the employee nor ex-employee who is holding the shares that was given during employment. So now you will be counted as a new person. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Somebody asked this to me in the class, right? Are you clear now, boss? Are you absolutely clear? இதுல மெயினே என்னதுன்னா அண்டர்லைன் பண்ணிக்கோ. நம்ம ரெண்டு கொஸ்டின் தான் இது வரைக்கும் நான் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் மார்க் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். அதுல இதுவும் ஒன்று. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒன்று பார்த்தோம், அந்த நோ லிமிட் லிமிட்டட். No limit private limited or unlimited company or a question in there. That was important. Next is this. ஏன்னா இது ஒரு தடவை பார்த்தா புரிஞ்சிடும், but if you see it first time in the exam, you might get confused. What if they hold the shares? Then Rahul, they will not be counted, bro. Once again, okay, I'll explain once again. Look at this question. It is a little important, little tricky. I'll explain once again. ஒழுங்கா கேளு, okay? Jagannath Limitedல இன்னைக்கு 220 members இருக்காங்க. இந்த 220 members குள்ள there are 25 members who were employees, okay? And when they were in employment, we gave them shares. Ma'am, when they were in employment, you gave them shares. That means they will not be counted. Absolutely correct. Then they left the employment. They retired or they resigned. They left the employment. Ma'am, then also you will not count them because employees and ex-employees both are not counted. Absolutely correct. They left the employment. They were not holding the shares. The shares that I gave them not during employment, they sold it after leaving. And then after some months, they purchased new shares of the company. Now, they are neither employees who are holding shares. They are neither ex-employees to whom the company gave the shares. Now they have purchased the share on their own capacity. So what will happen? They will be counted for the 200 limit. And because the limit exceeds 200, you will have to reduce the limit. Yeah, on August time, if you're asking Janani, they will not be counted. We are talking about after December. Clear? Here, would your answer be different if 25 members were employees in Jagannath Limited for a period from 1st April 2006 to 28th June 2017? I think this was mainly the exam of May 2017, I think. This question is from May 2017, if I'm not wrong. That's why the dates are given like this. Okay? If they were holding shares, if they were employees at that time, will they be counted? They will not be counted. And in that case, you're meeting the minimum requirement, so you can still have the status of a private company. Right? Is that clear, people? Is that clear? Okay, in this question, if you want to avoid confusion with the dates, just note that you should think that you are standing in May 2017 and approach the question. Then it will be easier. Okay? It was asked in that exam. That's why the dates are given like that. Now moving on to holding subsidiary. Plain vanilla questions. Another 2-3 questions are all related to holding subsidiary. Remember, when you will be called as a subsidiary, when some other company is controlling your composition of board of directors. When some other company is controlling your composition of board of directors, or they are having more than 50% of voting power, majority of voting power. Right? And remember, usually until they specifically tell in the question, only equity shareholders have voting power. Is that clear? Can we start? BC Private Limited and its subsidiary KL Private Limited are holding 90,000 and 70,000 shares in PQ Limited. This is the same question I gave you in the classwork. You remember? You remember after holding subsidiary, we did a lot of illustrations. You remember? It's the same question. BC is the holding company. KL is its subsidiary. Both are holding shares in which company? PQ Private Limited. BC is holding how much? 90,000 shares. And KL is holding how much? 70,000. Total on the company level shares irukku 3 lakh equity shares. Now tell me, is there holding subsidiary? Yes, correct. SP, that illustration only, correct. Ma'am, very easy, ma'am. If subsidiary, holding and subsidiary together will be taken, ma'am, 90,000 plus 70,000 divided by 3 lakhs. Ma'am, because I should be having more than 50% or majority of voting power, either by itself or with one or two of its subsidiaries. Remember this line, either by itself or with one or two of its subsidiaries. Remember, so 1,60,000 shares I have out of a total of 3 lakh. How much am I having? 53.33%. 53.33%. So is it the subsidiary? Answer is yes. Answer is yes. Yes. And somebody who asked about layers, 2 layers is acceptable, right? Up till 2 layers is acceptable, right? Can we move on to question 12? Can we move on to question 12? I think it's a much easier question comparatively. I want all of you to answer quickly. Lakan Private Limited is holding 3 lakh equity shares and 3 lakh preference shares in Ram Private Limited. Is it the subsidiary? Array? How will I know? 3 lakh, it's given. How much is total? How will I know? How much is total? How will I know? It's not very clear. He's holding 3 lakhs out of the total number of equity shares, but how much is total? Question is vague. Very good. Yes. So here they have given a generic answer. You look at the answer. Therefore, as Lakan Private Limited does not exercise control, because they did not speak anything about control, they are assuming there's no control. So they are telling that it is not a subsidiary. Because there's no control, they have not also clearly given us figures to figure out whether more than 50% voting power is there or not. So we are telling it's not a subsidiary. It's a vague question. Okay, it's a little vague. It's not very clear. Move on to the next one. A company ABC Limited, as on 31st March 2023, has a paid up share capital of 1 lakh, which is 10,000 shares of 10 each. So how much is the paid up share capital? 1 lakh. In June 2023, ABC Limited issues additional 10,000 equity shares of 10 each, which are fully subscribed. Very good. Out of the 10,000 shares, 5,000 of these shares were issued to XYZ Private Limited. Okay. Let's draw this. There is ABC Limited. Which has 1,10,000 shares. Not 1,10,000. 15,000, correct? 5,000, 10,000 here it is having, and then additional 10,000. So 20,000. Are you guys answering? Are you guys alive in the chat? Did you understand how I got 20,000? 10,000 shares here and then additionally issued 10,000. Out of the 10,000, who's having 5,000 shares? Who's having 5,000 shares? XYZ. XYZ Limited is having 5,000 shares. Okay. XYZ Limited is the holding of PQR. Okay. This is the holding of PQR. Holding subsidiary. Okay. XYZ Limited is holding company of PQR. How? By having the composition of board of directors. Now PQR Limited claims the status of being the subsidiary of ABC. It is telling that I am the subsidiary of ABC. Is it correct? PQR Limited says I am the subsidiary of ABC. Is that correct? Is that correct, people? Examine the validity of the claim of PQR. State the relationship, if any, between ABC and XYZ. It is telling that I am the subsidiary. Is that correct? Is that correct? Ma'am, here, if I see, how I see them is, there is XYZ, which is the holding. And PQR is its subsidiary. Right? And XYZ has 5,000 shares in ABC. By having 5,000 shares out of a total of 20,000, By having 5,000 shares out of a total of 20,000, they have what kind of a relationship? They have what kind of a relationship? Associate. They have a relationship of associate. Because 5,000 divided by 20,000, if you do, how much are you getting? 25%. So here it is 25%. So it is associate relationship. Here it is subsidiary. Now, what is the relationship between these two? What is the relationship between these two? What is the relationship between these two? In terms of the above provision, since XYZ Private Limited holds 25% voting power in ABC, ABC and XYZ are associate companies. Are associate companies. Are associate companies. Right? Is that clear? They are associate. They have given subsidiary, which is not correct, right? They are associates. Is that absolutely correct? Is that clear? Is that clear, people? Yeah? Can I move on to the next one? Just read it one in a relaxed fashion, you will understand. Just draw it and read it, you will be able to understand. Right? Next one, I think there's a mistype. This part got typed by mistake. Okay, it should have come down. Anyways, let's look at it. Shadow Evening Private Limited is holding 25,000 shares in Darshan Photograph Private Limited. State with reason. State with reason whether Darshan Photograph Private Limited is a subsidiary of Shadow. Without giving the total, how will I know that? Without giving the total, how will I know that? This alone I'll change and give you. I think the total is not given. Total how much is not given? Oh, okay. Okay. So basically question number should have come here. Sorry, my bad. Okay. While I send you, maybe I'll send you one more copy. Right? I'll just change it and send. Question number should have not come down, it should have come up. Okay, now let's read it. The paid up share capital of Darshan Photograph Private Limited is rupees 1 crore. 1 crore. 1 crore is divided into equity and preference. How much equity? 50,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each and 50,000 preference shares of rupees 100 each, and they have clearly given preference shares do not have voting power. Preference shares do not have voting power. So tell me, for subsidiary holding relationship, will you consider them? No, we will not consider them. For subsidiary holding, preference will not be considered. Only what will be considered? Equity. Adile, you see 50,000 shares. I have 25,000. 50,000, how much is that company, Shadow Evening Private Limited, having? 25,000. Now tell me, is it holding subsidiary relationship? Is it holding subsidiary relationship? Is it holding subsidiary relationship? Ideally, according to me, it should be no. It should be no because it should be more than 50%. Majority means 50 is not majority, no. 50 is not majority. More than 50 is majority. Are you able to understand? Here, how did they try to confuse you? 25 divided by 50, it's a dot 50%. To be subsidiary, you should be having more than 50, at least 50.1 should be there. Right? So here it is not holding subsidiary. Whether it's a holding subsidiary relationship, no. Whether it's a holding subsidiary relationship, the answer is no. Because it should be more than half, more than 50%, not exactly 50. Clear? Clear? Next, question number 15. Just 10 more questions to go and we are almost done. Next 15 minutes, let's close this, right? ABC decided to set up a new club with the name ABC Club. Section 8 company, Section 8 charitable organization, having the objectives to promote welfare of Christian society. They plan to do charitable work or social activity for promoting artwork of economically weaker sections of the Christian society. The company obtained the status of Section 8 company and started operating from 1st April 2017. However, On 30th September 2019, it was observed that ABC Club was violating the objectives. Oh my God, they were violating the objectives of the clause based on which they were given the status of Section 8. What will happen? If you violate, very good Latika, if you violate the objectives of the Section 8, or if you violate the objectives of the terms and conditions, or if you do fraudulent activity, the license of Section 8 will be revoked. The license of Section 8 will be revoked. And if they are revoked, what and all power does the central government have? Central government will revoke your license and do what? Ask you to go for winding up, amalgamate with an existing Section 8 company with a similar objective, or convert into a private or a public company. After giving you a reasonable opportunity of being heard. Is that clear, people? Plain vanilla, easy questions. Okay. Is that clear? Now, have a look at the next one. SNM was registered in 2021 with share capital of 50 lakh divided into 5 lakh equity shares of 10 each. Under Section 8 for promotion of art in Jaipur. The company earned huge profits during the financial year due to the boom in the market. Very good, good for them. On 10th May, 75% of the members of the company demanded to distribute 10% of dividend. Can you distribute dividend? As a Section 8 company, can you distribute dividend? No. Even if 100% of the members come and tell you distribute, you cannot do it. You are prohibited from distributing the dividend. You are prohibited from distributing the dividend. With reference to the provisions of the Companies Act, can you declare whether the dividend of 10% given is right or wrong? Absolutely wrong. Bullshit, you were not supposed to give. Are you able to understand? Are you able to understand? Very good. So we're done with the different types of companies. All question related to types of companies part has been completed. Okay, holding subsidiary, associate, Section 8 company, OPC alone is there, which I have towards the end, which I will do. Okay, I have one question relating to OPC. Okay, others we have completed. Yes, in Section 8, Darshini, you can hold shares. Shares irukla, members kitta shares kudukala, dividend mattu kadikadu. Is that clear? Can we move on to the next one? Question number 17, relating to doctrine of ultra vires. Anything done beyond the power of the company is ultra vires, is null and void. Look at this. JV Limited borrowed a secured loan of 5 crores from a bank to meet its working capital requirement. However, the borrowing powers of its memorandum is only 1 crore. Its borrowing power was 1 crore. How much did it actually borrow? 5 crores. How much did it actually borrow? 5 crores. Is it ultra vires? Yes, it is beyond the powers of the company. The bank released the amount in 2 installments, 3 crores and 2 crores. On the due date for payment of the loan, the company refused to pay rupees 5 crores on the ground that the borrowing was ultra vires. That the borrowing was ultra vires. Tell me, will the bank be able to recover? Will the bank be able to recover? The bank will be able to recover or not? Ma'am, this contract is ultra vires. The bank will be able to recover only 1 crore rupees. Very good. Remember, this was the googly question that I discussed in our everyday, that daily challenge. Remember, I gave you 3. Some amount is spent, some amount is still with you. For example, in the question, 3 lakh rupees. The company's books of accounts show that 3 crore rupees for repayment of lawful debt has been utilized for repayment of lawful debt. The utilization of remaining 2 crores cannot be traced. What can you do? What can you do? Only to legally you will be able to recover only 1 crore. Because clearly your MOA says you have borrowing power of 1 crore. What about the rest? It will become ultra vires. It will become ultra vires. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? Yeah, it is bad debts for the bank. Pranav, yes, it's a loss for the bank. Moving to the next articles of association, there's a very good question relating to entrenchment provision in this that I have included. Let's quickly read it. Justice Private Limited Justice Private Limited has 9 directors. This is a little unique question, guys. You have to mark it because this provision is not there in your book explicitly, but they had asked in one of the RTPs. So I think there's a high probability they can repeat it. Right? Explicit நம்மளோட portionsல இது இல்ல, but இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு question நான் RTP ல பார்த்தேன். So I just wanted to keep it so that in case they repeat it in the main exam, you should be able to solve it. Justice Private Limited has 9 directors on its board of directors. The company's articles of association currently state quorum for board meeting shall be 1/3 of the total strength or 2 directors, whichever is higher. Quorum is nothing but the minimum number of members who are needed. அப்போ ஒரு மீட்டிங்ல 9 directors இருக்காங்கன்னா அட்லீஸ்ட் ஐ நீட் 1/3. அப்படின்னா எவ்வளோ? அட்லீஸ்ட் ஐ நீட் 3 directors or 2 directors, whichever is higher. Ma'am, how did you tell 3? Very easy. 9 into 1/3. 9 directors into 1/3. So I need at least 3 directors or 2 directors, whichever is higher, which means how much do I need? 3. The company now wants to specify that the quorum of the meeting shall be 1/3 of the total strength or 4 directors, whichever is higher. They are trying to make it more stricter. Can I include entrenchment provision? Can I include stricter provisions? You can include stricter provisions. Right? Either during the formation of the company or after the formation of the company also you can include it in your AOA. Whenever you are including, please intimate it to the ROC. Please send a notice to the registrar. You can include, we don't have a problem. Give a notice to the registrar. Is that clear? Here, can you include the entrenchment provision? Absolutely, yes, you can do it. But please inform it to the ROC. Right? Next. This is a little tricky again. Both questions I want you to mark. So far, I think I have given you only 4 questions that you will have to see, according to me. If you know the concepts really well, others though you can solve. 4 questions, you'll have to see the answers because it's a little unique. One of them is this. Ratan Amul Milk India Limited is a public company and wants to incorporate and was incorporated on 1/1/2023. On the date of incorporation, Mr. Sharman was appointed as the legal advisor of the company. He is the lawyer for the company, basically. It was specifically provided in the Articles of Association that Mr. Sharma shall not be removed from the post of legal advisor till 31st March 2027. So this guy is appointed on 1/1/2023 and he is not supposed to be removed till 31/3/2027. அப்படின்னு எதுல எழுதியிருக்கு? Articles of Association AOA ல எழுதியிருக்கு. However, on 1/7/2024, the company passed a special resolution altering the Articles of Association. Can I alter the articles? The answer is yes. It's a part of your CA intermediate syllabus, but yes, you can alter your articles. Alter means changing. By passing a SR, can you alter your articles? Yes, you can do it. So they altered the articles and removed this guy and told that he is not going to be appointed till 31st March 2027. We want to remove him. Now this lawyer is filing a case against company saying, how did you remove me? The articles is telling I should be appointed till 31st March 2027. How did you remove me? Can that guy be removed? Yes. By altering the Articles of Association through a special resolution, you can change the articles, and by that can you remove it? The answer is yes. So here the removal of that lawyer, Mr. Sharman, is valid and the suit against the company is not maintainable. It is not maintainable. Right? You can alter, in fact, listen guys, you can alter even MOA and AOA. Both can be altered. But adukku nariya conditions irukku, provisions irukku, which you will study in your intermediate, in your second chapter, incorporation of companies. In that you will study. But yes, you can alter both, but you need a special resolution. Is that clear? Sharon, it's not a breach of contract. You can alter it. It's not a breach. Companies Act allows you to do that. Right? Moving on to the next topic, common seal, which is pretty much simple. Just stick on last 6 questions and we are done with the entire LDR for Companies Act, right? Right? Question number 20. Please have a look. Very simple. After incorporating Goodwill Private Limited, on 15th May 2024, share certificates were issued to Amit, Sumit and Sumati, who were subscribers of the company. without affixing the common seal. They did not have a common seal. They did not have a common seal thereon, and it was signed by two of the directors, Amit and Sumit. Is it valid? They did not have a common seal. It was signed by Amit and Sumit. Is it valid? Who were directors? Yes. Yes. Common seal is not mandatory. Common seal is only optional. As per Companies Amendment Act 2015, if you don't have a common seal, get it signed by two directors or one company secretary and one director. Is that clear? Very, very simple. Plain vanilla question. Is it valid? Yes, it is valid. So here the clarification given by Amit and Sumit is correct. The share certificate is valid. Next, concept relating to separate legal entity. Mr. Sunny sold his business of cotton production to CPL Private Limited. Sunny sold his sole proprietorship business to CPL Private Limited, in which he held all the shares except one. And one share was held by his wife. Other all shares, 99% of the shares who is holding, Sunny is holding. He is also the creditor of the company for a certain amount. He has also given loan to the company. He also got insurance on the stock of the company. Can you remember something? Deja vu. Can you remember something? He also got insurance of the stock of the company. Which case law? Makure versus Northern Assurance Company. Makure versus Northern Assurance Company. Timber Company. Makure went to Northern Assurance Insurance Company, took an insurance of timber in his own name. Same, this guy also has done the same. He took it in his own name. Is it valid or not valid? Is it valid or not valid? It is not valid. It is not valid because there's a concept of, because there's a concept of, you're taking the insurance in your own name is not valid because there is a concept of separate legal entity. The company is different from its owners. The company is different from its members. You cannot take insurance for the asset of the company because you have no insurable interest. It is the asset of the company, not your asset. You can have interest only in your asset. So here, what Mr. Sunny did was absolutely wrong. Here the same thing has happened like in Makure. The cotton that was kept in the warehouse was set to fire. It has caught fire. Now he goes to the insurance company. Insurance company says we will not give anything. Is the insurance company right? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Next, moving on to the last set of questions of our LDR, which is from the concept of lifting of corporate veil. Lifting of corporate veil. Corporate veil is what? It is a curtain. That curtain says there's a concept of separate legal entity. Company will be in one side of the curtain. Members will be on the other side of the curtain. They both are separate. That is corporate veil. But in some cases, we will lift the corporate veil. For protecting the revenue, we lift the corporate veil. Through the subsidiary, if subsidiary is acting as the agent, we lift the corporate veil. If alien enemy transactions you are doing, we lift the corporate veil. Right? So those questions we are going to see. Krishna, an assessee, was wealthy man, earning huge income by dividend and interest. Oh my God, I've seen this somewhere. Earning huge amount by dividend and interest. Very good. Dinshaw Manicura. Dinshaw Manikji Petit. Dinshaw Manikji Petit. Dinshaw Manikji Petit. Right? Very good. Very good. Same case law it is there. Krishna. Here instead of Dinshaw, Krishna. Krishna, an assessee, was a wealthy man. He was earning huge profits. Huge income. He did not want to pay tax. So he opened 3 private companies. Transferred all the amount to the private companies in the form of investment, took it out in the form of loan, not paying any tax. Now here, when we came to know about it, will the court lift the corporate veil? Yes. For protecting the revenue, can we pierce? Can we pierce means to tear. Can we lift? Can we tear the corporate veil? Yes, we can do it. Yes, we can do it. Give reference to the case law Dinshaw Manikji Petit and tell yes, here the corporate veil will be lifted and we will tell that Dinshaw and those private company are the same people and hence Dinshaw should pay the tax. Should pay the tax. Question number 23. This question also you have seen somewhere. A transport company wanted to obtain license for vehicle but could not obtain the license if applied in its own name. own name la apply panna license reject பண்றாங்க. So they opened a subsidiary and through subsidiary you are applying. To holding company apply பண்ணா license reject பண்றாங்க. So நீ holding company என்ன பண்ணுது, ஒரு subsidiary open பண்ணி subsidiary வழியா license apply பண்ற. No. Here the subsidiary is the puppet of the holding. So we told your subsidiary is acting as the agent of the holding. Here we lift the corporate veil and tell subsidiary la irukra directors holding la irukra directors same people. We will lift the corporate veil and tell no, it is not possible. We will reject the license of the subsidiary also. Because here through a corporate veil, through the concept of corporate veil, you are trying to get a unfair advantage. This same case law, the same case happened in Merchandise Transport Limited versus British Transport Commission. Is it clear, people? Is it clear? Very good. So Rahul, can we reject the license? Yes, Rahul, obviously we can reject the license. Question number 24. An employee signed a contract. This also I've seen, ma'am. This too I've seen. Employee signed the contract with his employer ABC Limited that he would not solicit, he will not attract the customers after leaving the employment. He told after leaving the employment, I will not contact your customers. And he left the employment. After leaving ABC Limited, he started his own company. Very good. The company's name was PQR Limited. And he started the own company. In that we don't have a problem. He started his own company and solicited, means attracted the customers of the old company. Can you do that? No. And when we filed a case, he told, when did I solicit? Company is soliciting. PQR Limited is soliciting. I am just a member there. PQR is different. I am different. No. Here we will lift the corporate veil and tell that PQR and the employee Karan are the same people. Very good, Akshaya. Here you are trying to do some illegal activity or improper activity. Is that clear, people? Is that clear? So will we lift the corporate veil? Yes, we will lift the corporate veil. Second last question. Right? I think it's the same question. Mr. Dhruv was appointed as an employee in Sun Moon Timber Private Limited on the condition that if he left the employment, he would not solicit, not attract the customers of the company. After some time, he left the company. He set up his own business under a proprietorship and undercut Sun Moon Timber Private Limited's prices. On legal advice to avoid provision relating to breach of contract, he formed a new company named Seven Stars Timber Limited. His wife and friend became the sole shareholders and directors. They took over Dhruv's business and continued it. Sun Moon Timber Private Limited filed a suit against Seven Stars Private Limited for violation of the contract. Here, Seven Stars Timber Private Limited argued that the contract was entered between Dhruv and Sun Moon Timber Private Limited and the company had a separate legal entity. You tell me, is that correct? Very good, Latika. Name is also very identical. Very good. Right? So same stuff. Here the concept of separate legal entity shall be disregarded. Let separate legal entity go to hell. You are trying to take unfair advantage. We lift the corporate veil and we will tell you both are the same. Right? And moving on to the last question of the LDR relating to one-person company. There is RM who was engaged in trading of handloom items with his wife. One of their friends suggested that they should form a private limited company by corporatizing their business. They would gain better recognition and even explore export opportunities. Right? They established a private company with both as sole members. They got work orders on job basis from local artisans, sold their products in Indian market and exported them. The company also secured a line of credit from bank amounting to rupees 30 lakhs. Tragically, Mr. RM met with an accident and passed away. Now, Mrs. RM was the only member in the private limited company. A family friend suggested including her brother as a member, but she declined. She does not want anybody's help. Instead, she decided to convert the private limited company into OPC and nominate her brother AK, who's currently employed in London, UK. Can she do that? Can she do that? Can I go for a conversion? Can I go for a conversion? Yes. Can I convert a private company to OPC? Yes. Can she appoint a brother, Mr. AK? Can she appoint a brother, Mr. AK, as the nominee, who is currently working in London? Yes, ma'am. To be a nominee, you have to be of the age of majority, sound mind, and citizenship is important. Residentship is only optional. He is not a resident, but he is an Indian citizen. Can he become the nominee? The answer is yes. Right? AK is not an Indian citizen. Okay, here they have given alternatives. Sorry, here they have given alternative answers in exam because they did not tell anything about AK's citizenship. We are telling if AK is an Indian citizen, then he can be nominated even though he is not a resident. But if he is a citizen of London, then he cannot become a nominee. Is that absolutely clear, people? That ends your entire discussion of all the 26 LDR and the most important questions that are there for your September 2026 exams. These are the last set of questions that you will have to do before you enter the main exam. Right? All are case study based questions. These are the questions that you will have to do. Almost all topics of Companies Act will get covered if you do these questions itself. Right?